Good evening from San Ignacio Town. With the 9 o'clock news, I am Patrick Jones. The big story this Monday continues to be the deepening crisis in the sugar industry in the north. There is still no agreement signed, and the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association has been left scrambling to see how it can make best of a very bad situation. Indications are that the latest move that could end the impasse is the signing of the proposed commercial agreement, albeit under protest, so that the much delayed 2014-2015 sugar crop season can begin. This morning, the People's United Party hosted a press briefing in Belize City, where Jose Mai from the Northern Caucus opined that the BSCFA will survive the current crisis.
There are a number of meetings being held in the different branches. I attended one of them yesterday. Actually, the agenda was one thing, to get the farmers to sign, to commit that they will accept that they were going to begin the crop, given the agreements of BSI. I do not believe that the BSCFA will splinter for a number of reasons. One is the main reason being that it is the only existing organization that has the infrastructure in place for efficient harvesting and delivery. The easiest thing to do from an association, get it up and running efficiently, is the most challenging thing to do. So in order to avoid the members from going over to associations that will be defunct anyway, the farmers, I believe in their own wisdom, have decided to sign the agreement and to stay with the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association. Of course, on the first measure.
Okay, so then if they sign the agreement, I know Mr. Ramirez, Mr. Marin are also farmers. Will everyone be inevitably forced to do this with a frown on your face, as the case may be?
Of course. It's with a very heavy heart that you go and sign your name. As a matter of fact, I almost signed yesterday, but after doing some reflection, I said, no, I will sign after I've made my statement very clear. I'm unhappy, and I share this feeling for many farmers. And if we have to sign, it is with a heavy heart that we have to sign.
How soon do you think such a signing may occur, sir?
I don't see the crop start.
Leader of the People's United Party, Francis Fonseca, says that the current crisis would not have been allowed to happen under a PUP government.
I really think that the government has not been engaged in this crisis. It's been building over time. This is not something, yes, it's taken over the headlines in recent months, but this has been building up over time. The farmers for a very long time have been calling for the SICB to get engaged in this impasse that exists between them and ASR BSI. So the government has not been engaged. The Prime Minister was not engaged. The Minister of Agriculture, who is the Deputy Prime Minister, has not been engaged and was not engaged. So that again is something that we would have done differently. We would have been engaged at every step of this process from the very beginning. In terms of where we are now, I think the government could have done and should be doing a lot more on behalf of the cane farmers. I think if Mr. Barrow and his government had in fact come out just as clearly as he has now come out for ASR, if he had come out very clearly and strongly on behalf of the cane farmers, he would have then forced BSI ASR to say, listen, we can't get into a fight with both the government and the cane farmers. We need to sit down and find a solution, whether it means re-signing the existing agreement and carry that forward, the existing interim agreement, carry that forward into the new year. I think that was what was required. Leadership that stood very firmly and very clearly on the side of the cane farmers, sending a very clear message to BSI ASR. This is what we want.
And while there are those who would say that the PUP is using the crisis in the sugar industry for political mileage, the leader of the opposition says what is happening in the north is beyond politics.
We support an agreement, but that agreement must respect the value and role of the cane farmers in this industry, not only today, but tomorrow and into the future. It must be, man. We can't be forcing cane farmers to sign on to an agreement because we want them to get get the crop started. I want to solve this problem today, but we're not thinking about the future, their future.
Meanwhile, indications are that the disbursements of funds from fair trade that was approved 2 Sundays ago have started to reach cane farmers. We will continue to monitor this ongoing story. The other big story in the news today is the opening of the legal year. There was a lot of pomp and pageantry on Albert Street this morning as attorneys, judges, magistrates, and other workers in the judiciary paraded from Wesley Methodist Church after the traditional church service to in front of the Supreme Court building. At that location, the Chief Justice inspected the Guard of Honor, watched by spectators who had gathered in the nearby Battlefield Park. Following the public display, everyone proceeded to the chambers of the Chief Justice for a review of the previous year and a look forward to what's ahead. Belize's legal leaders have promised a year of reform designed to correct long-standing abuses and difficulties in the judicial process. According to Chief Justice Kenneth Benjamin, a number of initiatives is in process to address such issues as juvenile justice, the conditions of the court, the lengthy time of remand for criminal cases, practice of attorneys in both civil and criminal jurisdiction, among other things. Chief Justice, that should be chief among these, is the planned implementation of new criminal procedure rules, which will both assist the courts in creating the conditions suitable to obtain justice while also respecting the rights and freedoms of persons under its jurisdiction.
The most significant step has been the drafting of criminal procedure rules. These rules prescribe time limits for the disposition of criminal cases, incorporating the principle of active case management by the courts themselves. Under the rules, no person should await trial in the Supreme Court for more than 2 years, with shorter time limits being applied to persons in custody on remand and to magistrate court matters tried summarily. Adjournments are to be limited, and the early identification of trial issues will be sought through the completion of pre-trial case management forms. As the ultimate sanction, judges and magistrates will be empowered and expected to dismiss cases not ready for trial within the time limit. These rules, are in the final stage of preparation and expected to come in force by early February 2015.
Meanwhile, courtrooms in Punta Gorda and San Ignacio are being renovated, and there are plans for proposed renovations to the courtrooms in Belize City. President of the Bar Association Senior Counsel Eamon Courtney raised critical issues, including the failure of the General Legal Counsel to meet for over a year to address issues related to complaints over attorneys' service.
The last session of the Court of Appeal was historic in its underperformance. For the first time in history, or as far as I'm aware, there was not a single criminal appeal heard. That is unacceptable. On the civil side, there were a record low number of civil appeals heard. The Bar Association met in November and resolved that I should write to the government to bring to the government's attention the concerns of the bar. I have done so on 2 occasions and have been ignored. The association took a decision that we should publish to the public the state of affairs, and also decided that it intends to take drastic and dramatic action to have this matter resolved.
Courtney also mentioned that the association had contributed significantly to proposed reforms in the judicial system, despite the campaign by the government for attorneys to disassociate themselves from the institution. In reply, Attorney General Wilfred Elrington noted the renewed commitment of the association and suggested that he might renew his membership in that association. On a more serious note, he said that the government intervention in alleviating the state of affairs with regard to members of the judiciary being compensated to leave their private practice to work in the courts is being looked at.
Lord, I would like to close with the timely and inspired injunction of Reverend Papalu, preacher who, in almost the penultimate paragraph of his sermon, said, "We are to render justice speedily and lovingly." I never heard it put that way before, but I think that it is inspired. And the rationale for it is perfectly clear. We are the servants of the people, not their masters. And servants must act with reverence, humility.
Elrington added that there can be no sustainable peace and development in Belize without justice. The 9 o'clock news will continue right after these messages.
We all have our bucket list and plan to start fulfilling them someday.
Anytime now. Don't worry, babe. You can do it.
Go, Mom! You can do this!
Why not turn someday into today with an easy credit personal loan? Atlantic Bank can make it happen. We offer loans at competitive interest rates with low monthly payments for all your financing needs, because life should be easy.
How was it, Mom? It was good.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
When I exercise, I do only the most rigorous and complex techniques to challenge my body and keep it at its best. When I am building my body strength, I go for the heavy weights to keep my muscles challenged. When I prepare my meals, I make sure everything is fresh and tap into all my food groups. When I need internet service, I use Smart Zoom service to ensure reliability and speed. I am Rigo Veos, two-time Mr. Belize. I use only the best. I choose smart, and so should you.
Somebody say live the life. Somebody say live the life. Live the life. Live the life.
My dad never misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of MyTV is it costs as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. MyTV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
You're watching the 9 o'clock news on the national channel. The stories making the headlines today: there is still no resolution of the impasse in the sugar industry. And the ceremonial opening of the Supreme Court took place this morning in Belize City. A ceremony was held this morning at Belize House in Belmopan for the swearing-in of Cayo North Area Representative Omar Figueroa as a Minister of State by Governor General Sir Colville Young. Witnessing the swearing-in was Figueroa's family, friends, and supporters. Figueroa has been posted as a junior minister to the office of the Prime Minister. He won a by-election in the Cayo North Electoral Division on January 5th after the elected PUP representative abruptly resigned late last year. Tonight, a police constable is on the wanted list by his peers. Patrick O'Brien, a constable stationed in Independence Village, is being sought pending investigations of an allegation of sexual misconduct by the officer. PC O'Brien is named in an allegation by a 16-year-old girl who visited the police station in Independence Village along with her mother last week and reported that in the month of June 2014, while she was still 15 years old, that the policeman had sexual intercourse with her. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of PC Patrick O'Brien is asked to call the nearest police station or Crime Stoppers. Police in San Ignacio are investigating 2 reports of robbery. The first is reported to have happened on Saturday night on the Branchmouth Road. A 26-year-old man and his girlfriend reported that they were held up and robbed at gunpoint around 10:30 on Saturday night. A man described as being of dark complexion and riding on a bicycle robbed the couple of their personal belongings with a total value of $1,810. The second incident reportedly happened in Santa Familia Village. A 47-year-old man told police that around 11 o'clock on Saturday night he was accosted inside a sawmill in the village where he was working by a gun-toting man wearing a camouflage jacket. The gunman reportedly demanded money, and the victim says he handed over $500 in cash, after which the assailant made good his escape. Police investigations of both incidents continue. The 9 o'clock news on the national channel.
We all have our bucket list and plan to start fulfilling them someday.
Anytime now. Don't worry, babe. You can do it.
Go, Mom! You can do this!
Why not turn someday into today with an easy credit personal loan? Atlantic Bank can make it happen. We offer loans at competitive interest rates with low monthly payments for all your financing needs, because life should be easy.
How was it, Mom? It was good.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
When I exercise, I do only the most rigorous and complex techniques to challenge my body and keep it at its best. When I am building my body strength, I go for the heavy weights to keep my muscles challenged. When I prepare my meals, I make sure everything is fresh and tap into all my food groups. When I need internet service, I use Smart Zoom service to ensure reliability and speed. I am Rigo Veos, two-time Mr. Belize. I use only the best. I choose smart, and so should you.
Somebody say, live the life. Somebody say, live the life. Live the life. Live the life.
My dad never misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of MyTV is it costs as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. MyTV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
There was a mixture of sunshine and rain today in parts of the country, and the rainy conditions will continue for another day or so. Tonight, skies will be partly cloudy and showers will be isolated, along with low temperatures of about 68 degrees Fahrenheit in Belmopan and Bulletree Falls Village, but 74 degrees Fahrenheit in Gales Point Manatee, Punta Gorda Town, and Corozal Town. Winds over the open sea and along the coast will be northeasterly at 5 to 15 knots, and the sea state will be choppy. Tomorrow, skies will be sunny with cloudy periods. High temperatures will be around 84 degrees Fahrenheit in Belize City, 87 degrees Fahrenheit in Esperanza and Benqueviejo del Carmen, and a comfortable 76 degrees Fahrenheit up at the exposed areas of the mountain Pine Ridge and along the Maya Mountains in the south. The tides. There will be a low tide at 9:54 tonight, to be followed by a high tide at 3:08 in the morning. The sunrise is at 6:26 on Tuesday morning. Sunset is at 5:37 tomorrow evening. The extended forecast, valid through to Wednesday afternoon, is for cloudy skies at times with a few showers mainly over the sea and coastal areas of the country. And that is a look at the weather with information provided by forecaster Frank Tench Jr. at the Belize Weather Bureau. To end the news, a reminder of the main points again. There is still no resolution of the impasse in the sugar industry, and the ceremonial opening of the Supreme Court took place this morning in Belize City. And with the headlines, we come to the end of the news for today. Our news lines remain open at all times, and you can visit our website for continuing coverage of the latest news from around Belize. Thank you for joining us. I am Patrick Jones. Have a good night.